uniforms illegally, emphasizing that inspecting or respecting the uniform is an important part of strengthening national security and building trusts between the military and members of the public. Chief of Civil Military Relations, Major General Gold Chibuisi, made this known during a chat with defense correspondents in Abuja. Kekelemo Okere was there for Global Television.
Speaking during a media chat with the defense correspondent in Abuja, the Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Army Major General Gold Chibisi says the misuse of military attire by unauthorized persons not only violates the law but also aid criminal activities. Highlighting the security risk, Chibisi noted that criminals increasingly exploit military uniform to commit crimes, making it harder for civilians and security agencies to identify genuine soldiers. He stressed that the law must be respected to maintain the integrity and safety of the armed forces, warning that offenders will face the wrath of the law. The Chief of Civil Military further called for deeper civil-military relations and urged Nigerians to see Nigerian Army as their own institution, saying that soldiers are members of the communities and not outsiders or violent enforcers.
Army, and that's why I say that the media is very important for us to be able to communicate that to the Nigerian people. It is their army. They should be able to say our army is doing this. Not soldiers they do. No, our soldiers are doing this. And it is when you own the army, you see a lot of things come with it. Those of us in the army, we've had, yes, in some places you go, people look at you with awe, but that's not what we are looking for. We want to see the way they see us as members of their families, because we are not from the moon. We are from homes and communities within the Nigerian state. See the military, you see them as your people, working for you, making sacrifices for you, and understanding the role that that they have contributed to building the country that we have, and they will help as we continue to build our country into the future.
The Chief of Civil Military further called on the media and the public to assist in sensitization efforts, stressing that offenders should be arrested and prosecuted rather than subjected to extrajudicial treatments. Kekelemo Okere, Global Television News.
A General Court Martial sitting at the headquarters, 82 Division, Nigerian Army, Enugu, has sentenced the soldier, Private Adamu Mohammed, to death by hanging, and another Private, Abubakar Yusuf, to 10 years imprisonment. A statement by Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Unwahalu, Acting Deputy Director, 82 Division, Army Public Relations, says the sentences were handed down after due consideration for the offenses of murder and robbery for which the soldiers stood trial. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arrested prominent business executive Aisha Suleiman at Chimugu at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. According to a statement by her legal team on Tuesday, Chimugu was apprehended around 5 a.m. upon her voluntary arrival from London. The arrest is linked to an ongoing EFCC investigation into alleged criminal conspiracy and money laundering. The governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Umaru Fintri, has officially launched the April 2025 round of the National Immunization Plus Days campaign, targeting over 1.4 million children under the age of 5. Kabiru Hassan reports.
The campaign launch took place at Primary Healthcare Center in Malkohi, Yola South Local Government Area. Governor Fintri, who was represented by the Commissioner of Local Government Affairs, Honorable Ibrahim Mijinyawa Yaji, symbolically administered vaccines to children in Malkohi community. Governor Fintri reaffirmed his administration commitment to safeguard children's health against vaccine-preventable diseases, particularly poliomyelitis. He described the event as a collective commitment to ensure that no child, no matter how remote the location is left behind.
State, we recognize that the health and well-being of our children are foundational to the progress of Adamawa State. Today, we reaffirm that no child must be left behind. We must reach every child in every ward, every settlement, every household.
The executive chairman of Adamawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Suleiman Bashir, commended health workers, community mobilizers, and development partners for their dedication amid challenging trends in insecurity. He also acknowledged the vital role played by UNICEF, traditional rulers, and religious leaders in supporting immunization efforts.
All the locations we identify the community mobilizers using the community leaders. And we've pushed all the vaccines to the last mile where they will be needed at the ward level, and they are there, and we have been monitoring them to ensure that vaccine efficacy has been optimized.
Dr. Nushat Rafiq of UNICEF expressed satisfaction with the preparation for the campaign. She said UNICEF continues to collaborate closely with Adamawa State government, providing technical support, logistics, vaccines, and financial assistance to ensure the campaign success.
Always seen a great response from the state government in terms of contributions from the state as leveraging all the resources for the betterment of children, even for these campaigns, for the child nutrition funds, and for everything whatever can be done for the children. State government is always a great partner with us.
The 4-day campaign is set to cover all 226 political wards across Adamawa State. Hassan Kabir reporting for Global TV.
Following intensified operations against criminal gangs backed by credible intelligence, the Nigerian police have successfully arrested 22 suspected kidnappers and gun runners, as well as recovered several arms and ammunition across several states. Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Adejobi says the arrests demonstrate the commitment of the force at ensuring the safety and security of all citizens. Severe gully erosion has destroyed at least 15 houses and large swathes of farmland in Ekulu Mili community in Inewi South local government area of Anambra State. Residents are appealing to the state government for urgent intervention to prevent further devastation. The erosion, which has also cut off several major roads, poses a significant threat to the livelihoods and safety of the people. The federal government has directed the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, and the National Examinations Council, NECO, to fully adopt computer-based testing, CBT, for their examinations by 2026. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, disclosed this during an inspection of their ongoing 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, in Buari, Abuja. Our correspondent, Hosanna Okorafo, completes the story.
Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa announced that both WAEC and NECO will start administering their objective papers via computer-based tests from November 2025, with both essay and objective components fully computer-based by May-June 2026. He says if JAMB can successfully conduct CBT exams for over 2.2 million candidates, WAEC and NECO can do the same. Dr. Alausa praised JAMB's exam monitoring system, describing it as meeting international standards and helping to curb malpractice. He also revealed that a committee is currently reviewing examination standards nationwide, with recommendation expected next month.
Also, we're going to get WAEC and NECO by November of this year to also start their objective exam on CBT. By next exam in 2026 exams, which will come up in May, June. Both the objectives and the essay will be fully on CBT. That is how we can eliminate exam malpractices. We want our children to study and not go ahead and not perfect way of cheating. When some students cheat during the exams, it disincentivizes the hard-working one. And figure now, if you're working hard for an exam and you saw other people getting lead questions, you will also be bad. And that's what
Earlier, JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oluyede clarified that the board's UTME exams have always begun at 8 a.m. with candidates advised to arrive early for accreditation. He dismissed complaints about early arrival time.
We have always started our exam at 8 o'clock. The first session is 8 o'clock. The second session, 10:30. the third session 1 and the fourth session at 3:30. But every reasonable person will know that you have these children are young, and you need to let them know that they don't get there at the point of 8. They have some preliminary things to do. We must check their 250 of them that we are inviting. We must check their papers. So we expect them to do that for about 45 minutes. So if we are now ask these children that arrive at the center at 6:30, I don't know if anybody who can say that, oh, my own child arrived at 7:30 and they sent him back. But should we tell them 7:30? How many of them will miss the exam?
Noting it's necessary to screen candidates before exam begin. Professor Oluyede also debunked claims of candidates being posted to centers they didn't choose, stating investigations showed no such cases and blaming misinformation from some candidates to their parents. He confirmed that over 1.6 million out of 2.03 million registered candidates have completed their exams, with about 50,000 remaining.
Its annual exam meets all international benchmark. Its exam that is based, that is been foolproof for people to cheat. So this is an exam that it's done, monitored, coordinated with the highest level of integrity. And I'm happy that we're able to do this in Nigeria. And we have a good country. And with the president that we have now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that puts so much emphasis on human capital development. When I say human capital development, areas of education, health, and social protection. And as well, our president is also working hard to fix all facets of the economy. And one important thing that we've seen around now, there's strong rule of law in this country.
The registrar further revealed that over 40 candidates have been arrested for malpractice, including impersonation and attempting to smuggle out exam questions with hidden cameras. He assured that results will be released after thorough verification. For Global TV News, Ogochukwu Mobno reporting.
This is Global Television. You're watching a live broadcast of News Express with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, Trump eases trade pressure on automakers facing multiple tariffs. We'll have those details and much more for you shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's turn to business, where the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has given all businesses operating in Nigeria a 6-week ultimatum to comply with the registration requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020. The Commission, in a circular issued in Abuja, says after the ultimatum, it will take necessary action against erring offenders who fail to comply. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has inaugurated the National E-Invoicing Solution Interagency Steering Committee as part of its efforts at boosting tax compliance, transparency, and efficiency in Nigeria's tax system. This is according to a statement shared on the service's official X handle. The FIRS also noted that the initiative demonstrates its commitment to leveraging technology and partnerships in its mission to reform Nigeria's tax administration landscape. U.S. media has reported that U.S. President Donald Trump has agreed to soften the impact of tariffs on automakers that have been hit by multiple levies. The move comes ahead of a Trump rally planned for Tuesday night near Detroit to mark the president's first 100 days in office. Bitcoin-focused investment firms are stepping into the spotlight as key players in a growing global movement towards the widespread adoption of cryptocurrency as a reserve asset. Industry leaders and market analysts suggest that this shift, commonly referred to as hyper-Bitcoinization, could eventually displace traditional fiat currencies and redefine global financial systems. Let's take it beyond our shores now. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has delivered his victory speech to supporters after winning Canada's election, leading his Liberal Party to a new term in power after convincing voters that his experience managing crisis had prepared him to confront U.S. President Donald Trump.
We will need to think big and act bigger.
Prime Minister Kani addresses his crowd of supporters, establishing what is potentially the grand objective of his policy focus. The Donald Trump factor, in part, had shaped the campaign and continues to matter beyond Canada's election.
When I sit down with President Trump, it will be to discuss the future economic and security relationship between two sovereign nations. And it will be with our full knowledge that we have many, many other options than the United States to build prosperity for all Canadians.
Prime Minister Kani setting the agenda before a crowd of supporters following his election victory, noting that Canada has a long way to go, calling the vote the most consequential election, having defeated Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. Uyi Agmofwegbe. Away from North America now, Iran's interior minister says negligence was a factor in the massive explosion and fire at the country's largest container port as the death toll rose to at least 70. Eshkandar Momeni says blast at Shahid Rajai ports in Bandar Abbas, which also injured more than 1,000 people, was caused by shortcomings, including non-compliance with safety precautions and negligence. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to crack down on sanctuary cities that defy his hardline immigration policies as the U.S. president closes in on his first 100 days back in office. The Republican has claimed major progress in honoring his election campaign promises to stem illegal border crossings from Mexico, which soared to all-time highs under his Democratic predecessor, Joe Biden. The order directs officials to publish within 30 days a list of states and local authorities that obstruct the enforcement of the federal immigration laws. And now time for sports. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has received the Unity Torch ahead of the 2025 National Sports Festival set to hold in Ogun State. The governor praised the National Sports Commission for its organization and described sports as a key tool for promoting unity across Nigeria.
It over to the national leader, and it's now coming to His Excellency.
I use this opportunity to encourage all our participants to go all out there with determination and bring medals. Medals that will represent the excellent status of our guests. So you go.
The governor also charged Imo State contingents to compete with excellence and assured them of the full support of the government and people of the state. And that's all we have for you on News Express. Thank you so very much for watching. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe. Bye-bye.